Greetings, my friends, and welcome back to Mike Allen from Chicagoland, broadcasting for the first time ever on this channel from the resort town of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. First time also filming in the state of Tennessee on this channel, which adds another to my list in reaching my goal of visiting all 50 states here on Mike Allen from Chicagoland. This is my second wax museum. I visited the Madame Tussauds in Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But this is my first time visiting this location, so hope you'll come and join me, and let's get started. Right here you got their interpretation of Mount Rushmore of Hollywood actors: John Wayne, Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe, and Charlie Chaplin. And up on the top you got King Kong and their interpretation of New York City. See, he's holding the propeller plane right there, just like he did in the 1930s version of the movie. Here's a novelty item for you, a caution cone in the shape of a banana, warning you of the wet floor. And right when you enter the building, here's another interpretation of King Kong with his propeller plane. Similar to the wax museum I visited in Texas, we're greeted with a list of A-list celebrities: Jennifer Aniston, Halle Berry, Jack Nicholson, and Morgan Freeman. Here we got Angelina Jolie, Robert Downey Jr., and Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio himself. Here's some more New Age musical wax figures here. Billie Eilish and Post Malone. Now, those of you that have watched my channel before, I might have mentioned this. I am a huge fan of hip-hop. Not so much of the newer stuff, but Post Malone is one of the few newer artists that I can actually tolerate listening to. And this is a Harrison Ford wax figure from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You can tell because he's a little bit older in this one, and Crystal Skull is right there. Orlando Bloom as Will Turner, and Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. I'd say this is probably the most lifelike one I've seen so far. This looks to be young Elvis. And I may be wrong, but looks like he's in a jail kit up here. Probably singing Jailhouse Rock and something like this. Here is the great Charlie Chaplin. Now, I do know that this is Bill Murray, but I have absolutely no idea what movie this is supposed to be interpreting. So if anybody knows, you're welcome to leave a comment down in the comment section. Here we got Playboy founder Hugh Hefner lying in his red circular couch. Audrey Hepburn and Katy Perry. Not sure what Katy Perry is doing in a 60s looking room here, but whatever. It's not every day you get to hang out with a two-time Oscar winner. There's a couple of talk show queens, and Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah Winfrey. Cameron Diaz is looking quite stunning and elegant, if I do say so myself. It's a wax figure of Cardi B, who I don't really know too much about, but this man over here, Eddie Murphy, I know a ton about. Seen pretty much every one of his movies and several of his stand-up shows. So the first movie I ever saw Liam Neeson in was Schindler's List, but he's made quite a name for himself in the action film genre, beginning with Taken in 2008. There's a couple more from the action genre: Ryan Reynolds and Jason Statham. And the tour continues this way. Right over the entrance, get a nice aerial view of King Kong. Or making our way back down this way. And we are first greeted by Seth Rogen, followed by father and son, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now, Dale Jr. actually just checked out the track for the upcoming Chicago street race, first of its kind for NASCAR. I did a video about that last couple weeks ago, actually, so I'll put a card up on the screen, and if you wouldn't mind giving that a check once you finish this video, I sure would appreciate it. Will Ferrell in his Ricky Bobby uniform. Who else we got here? This looks to be Michael B. Jordan as Apollo Creed's kid. We also got Jack Black as Nacho Libre. We got John Cena, one of the few actors in Hollywood known for two major characters, Rocky being one and Rambo being the other. We got Bruno Mars, another one of the more current singers that I actually like to listen to. There's Adam Sandler dressed as Happy Gilmore. My favorite part of Happy Gilmore is when he steps into the batting cage to get hit by baseballs in order to toughen up for next hockey season's tryouts. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, definitely not somebody you want to mess with. Here we got Robin Williams and another of Will Ferrell. And then over here, we got Kevin Hart, stand-up comedian turned actor. I just had to stand and get some video taken with Lucille Ball. If you go on the Wax Museum's website, this is the statue that's featured very prominently. Jamie Foxx from Django Unchained, a Quentin Tarantino flick. I still think your best role was as Ray Charles. Here's Ben Stiller and his character from Night at the Museum. That name is currently slipping my mind at the moment. Here it shows the height of all these different celebrities here. Kind of curious to see which one I'm lined up with as we keep going higher and higher and higher. About the same size as Colin Firth and Ashton Kutcher, kind of in between there. Al Pacino playing the Godfather, Michael Corleone. He's gonna make you an offer that you can't refuse. And as Tupac's Changes is being played here in the background, we got Tupac Shakur himself. Right next to Snoop Dogg and Eminem. Yeah, these guys are far more in line with my version of hip hop. That's what I grew up listening to. From my favorite movie, Pulp Fiction, that's Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta, dressed up in their characters of Vincent and Jules. However, Jules is not wearing his wig, and he doesn't have his sideburns going in this one. Here we got Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock. They are the Effin' Heat. Here we got Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard. Star Trek The Next Generation looks like he's about to transport down to a unknown planet. And right next to him, this looks to be more from the original show than The Next Generation. But this is a panel for the transporter room. Here in the horror section, we've got Ghostface from the movie Scream and its subsequent sequels. This has always been my favorite villain because I was a teenager when those movies came out and not really a big fan of the horror and slasher film genre, but this movie series I absolutely made an exception for. And I don't know if I would classify Alien and Predator as horror movies. I put it more in the sci-fi genre, and because of that, sci-fi being my favorite genre, I absolutely love these two movies. And if you don't look hard enough, you'll miss Chucky and Bride of Chucky standing up above the alien. Here we have Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a movie I have yet to see, but I do know that John Larroquette narrated the opening scene to that movie. And I'm setting the record straight right now. This is Frankenstein's monster. This is not Frankenstein. Frankenstein is the doctor that created the monster, who has no name. And this one here is going back. You got Bela Lugosi as Count Dracula. You know, Michael, there's about 1 million Halloween flicks out now, but I think I've only seen one of them. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones in their Men in Black outfit. Look at Tommy Lee Jones. He's gotten quite younger in this wax figure. Vin Diesel from the Fast and Furious series. Another one of those movie series where I think I've only seen one of the flicks. Oh yeah, Mr. Sean Connery as Captain Ramius from Hunt for Red October. Have you ever met Captain Ramius, General? And the tour continues back downstairs. Going past Cardi B and Eddie Murphy again. We're on yonder. And who do we got here? Got George Clooney and Julia Roberts. Just a couple throwbacks. Frank Sinatra, back in his younger days here. And then the absolutely gorgeous and glamorous Marilyn Monroe. Probably my favorite actress from Hollywood's golden age. Here we have Whitney Houston. They're playing I'll Always Love You over the loudspeaker here. right in front of her statue. Song she made famous in the movie The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner. Wow, I had no idea that Lil Wayne was this short. Look at that. About a head taller than him. Let's see if I could figure this out without looking at the board. This is Miley Cyrus. This is Beyonce. This is Rihanna. Let's see, this is Pink. Saw her in concert a couple years ago. And of course, Taylor Swift, who I've not seen in concert, but just performed at Soldier Field in Chicago a few weeks back. Who's who of country music legends right here. We got Carrie Underwood, Dolly Parton, who grew up not too far from here. Got Johnny Cash, and my man, Willie Nelson, who just turned 90 years old back in April. There's Clint Eastwood, dressed up in his spaghetti western outfit. There's the Duke, John Wayne. This looks to be from, I don't know, The Searchers or one of those westerns from back in the 50s. Also my man, Jeff Bridges, loved you in The Big Lebowski. And the museum ends with the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson, before exiting to the gift shop, just like at Walt Disney World. Plenty of I Love Lucy merchandise here on the shelves, but I was drawn to the Wonka Golden Ticket cookie jar. I also have a Central Perk cookie jar from Friends, and also the various houses from the Harry Potter series. And you could also take home an Oscar if you were so inclined. They got a whole bunch of categories. Best employee, best grandfather, best girlfriend, best stepson, best father-in-law, among others. Here's Darth Vader looking on the bright side. And as an admirer of Marilyn Monroe, I noticed this as well. Thanks for the memories, hugs, and kisses. They even have Exorcist lunch pails. Just what I want to look at when I'm eating lunch. Linda Blair and her fake puke. So I really appreciate you joining me here at the Hollywood Wax Museum in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Got to see a lot of really cool, neat wax figures. Second time I've been in a museum like this here on this channel. And as I mentioned earlier, first time here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, both on this channel and in person in my life. So looking forward to hopefully doing a few other videos in this area before heading home at the end of the week. Anyways, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. There's other ways you can help me out in growing the channel. I'll put links down in the description below. This includes the brand new Mike Allen from Chicagoland Facebook page and my Patreon account. If you're willing to just provide a donation to that, I would also greatly appreciate it. You don't have to, but it is there if you are willing to contribute. Anyways, this is Mike Allen from Chicagoland signing off from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I'll be back next week with another video, but until then, don't you go changing.